Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, this is class 8. Subject is science. Today our topic is asexual reproduction in animals. And we have already talked about the reproduction in human beings and some other familiar animals. And I did tell you that in case of human beings and other animals like cows, dogs, and cats, we have sexual reproduction. And today we will study about the reproduction in very small animals like amoeba and hydra, which are very tiny animals in fact, and they reproduce by asexual reproduction. That's why our topic is asexual reproduction in animals, right? And we will study this asexual reproduction in the context of very small animals like amoeba and hydra. And I'm sure that you are well aware about the term asexual reproduction. For your convenience, I would like to repeat what is asexual reproduction. It is a type of reproduction wherein new organisms are produced without the involvement of sex or without involvement of male and female gametes. Actually, the new organism is produced from a single parent. The point to remember is here that in asexual reproduction, the new organism is produced from a single parent. You do not have two parents but a single parent, right? So, as far as this asexual reproduction animal is concerned, we have the most commonest methods of asexual reproduction animals. One is binary fission, another is budding. These are very common types of asexual reproduction. But before talking about this binary fission and budding, we should know about the term binary fission. We should know about the term. In biology, actually, uh, the meaning of the term fission and binary uh, is this fission means splitting. Fission means splitting or dividing. Binary means two. That means when an organism divides into two, we call it binary fission. And budding is when a parent organism develops an outgrowth on its body. That's called as bud, and the process is called as budding. It will be more easier for you people to understand both these processes once we will talk about this binary fission in amoeba. So, what is binary fission amoeba? Actually, it is a type of asexual reproduction that you know. What happens is that we have a parent cell. This is amoeba, right? This is amoeba. This. Now, what happens in amoeba? First of all, the nucleus. This nucleus gets elongated, right? And finally, what happens? This nucleus then separates. Therefore, here comes one nucleus. Here comes another nucleus. It was initially one nucleus. Then this nucleus elongation took place. Then nucleus got separated. Now you have two nucleus, but the organism is still intact. This is followed by the division of cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, this jelly-like substance. Now the cytoplasm divides. Now this you have this part. It contains its own cytoplasm. Now it has its own cytoplasm. Finally, what happens? These two organisms now separate. These two cells separate. Now you have two individual amoeba, right? This is what happens in amoeba. So what happens? The parent cell. This is it divides into two new cells. Here you have two new cells. When this happens, what happens? This parent cell, it ceases to exist. This it means that this parent cell is no more there now. Now you have two new amoeba. Now these two new amoeba now come into being. Now they come into existence. And when these two cells come into existence, the parent cell dies. These two amoebas then, when they eat food, they grow to the full size. Now same thing repeats. They also undergo the process of binary fission. They keep producing two, then they ये खुद ख़त्म होते हैं, फिर इनसे फिर और दो पैदा होते हैं। यानी इन वनो क्या वनो बाइनरी फिशन क्या गो, यह सह मेथड ऑफ asexual reproduction यथ मज पेरेंट सेल डिवाइड कजन मज दोन नयन ऑर्गेनिजमन मज युथु गसान युस जन पेरेंट ऑर्गेनिज्म दैट गेट्स वेनिशड और हमारे पास दो नई सेल्स दो नए ऑर्गेनिज्म हमारे पास आते हैं, ठीक। और इसको हम बोलते हैं दिस इज कॉल्ड एज बाइनरी फिशन, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज बाइनरी फिशन। और जब ये दो न्यू सेल्स फुल साइज को पहुंचते हैं, यानी फुली डेवलप होते हैं, तब ये भी इसी तरह दे आल्सो अंडरगो द प्रोसेस ऑफ बाइनरी फिशन एंड द प्रोसेस गोज ऑन एंड ऑन, ठीक। And the next process is called as budding, and this budding, we will study this budding in the context of hydra, right? Hydra is also an organism. So what happens in budding? A small bud goes to 20. This is it, a small bud. It grows on the parent body. Okay. Then what happens? The time comes when this bud actually it detached itself. It gets separated from the parent body and grows as an individual hydra. And this process of budding, it takes place in hydra. It also takes place in sponges and corals. Okay, but here we would like to restrict ourselves to hydra only, because I told you earlier that we will study the process of budding in the context of hydra. Hydra is not a it is not a unicellular animal like that of amoeba, but it's a multicellular animal. Please note, hydra is not unicellular, but it is a multicellular organism. Okay, and it reproduces by budding. That means जो पेरेंट बॉडी होती है, उस पेरेंट बॉडी पर एक बड डेवलप होता है, और आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये बड जब बड़ा होता है तो ये बड इस पेरेंट बॉडी से अलग होकर एक नई इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनिज्म में तब्दील होता है। इस तरह इनके अंदर, जो हाइड्रा के अंदर, ये क्या कहते हैं, बडिंग होती है, ठीक। तो इस तरह हम समझ सकते हैं कि जो हाइड्रा है, which is a small animal that you know, it develops from a bud, and this bud develops on the parent body. So this method of asexual reproduction in hydra is called as budding. Apart from binary fission and budding, there are some other methods of asexual reproduction as well, wherein a single parent produces new ones, and we will also talk about these methods. You will possibly come across, or you will possibly encounter these methods in your future classes, but up to this class you got to know about these two processes, binary fission and budding. I am repeating, budding is simply in organisms like hydra, a bud develops on the parent body. When this bud grows to attains the maturity, it separates from the parent body, and it then grows individually as hydra, right? So this is called as budding. But here I am repeating, this hydra is not a unicellular animal like amoeba, but it is a multicellular animal, right? So this is all about the two commonest methods of asexual reproduction, that is budding and binary fission. And you can easily see this hydra if you just take up water sample of pond, observe the magnifying glass, but you will definitely see a number of hydra there.